Hello. Happy 4th of July, everybody. I know I'm so festive. Red and gold and blue. This is supposed to be white, but it's cream. And I got a lot of sun today, so my skin is it's really warm, warmer than I expected. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat because I was having a little bit of technical issues, which is why I'm a couple minutes late, but who cares? How can you be late to something that nobody asked for, nobody expected, nobody really wanted, but I'm surprising you? Let me know in the chat. Also, let me know if that link works, the StreamYard link. Somebody come join me. I want to have a little friend here with me today. If not, it's fine, but I just think it would be fun to have another panelist on. Wow, it's such a gorgeous day, and Washington State, absolutely perfect for July 4th, Independence Day, a celebration. So to celebrate this day, I made myself, it's so full, and I'm going to spill it, an espresso martini. I shouldn't say I'm going to spill it. I don't want to jinx myself. But I'm gonna take this out for a sec. Honestly, it looks like straight just coffee because it is. It's espresso, a lot of espresso, a little bit of vodka, well, actually, fair amount. And I didn't have cafe liqueur, so I used a little bit of toffee nut monin syrup, just a little. And yeah, the martini's good. It's really good. So yeah, it's vodka, fresh espresso, of course, a little bit of toffee nut syrup. Since I didn't have alcoholic liqueur or cafe liqueur, that's supposed to be sweet. I didn't have that, and I didn't want to use simple syrup. And then I shook it up with crushed ice, and it is good. I garnished it with espresso beans. Good. It's good. It's good. Cheers to everybody. Happy 4th. Audio's fine. Martini looks amazing. Thank you, Ned. Glad to see you here. Have you been doing anything fun today, or do you have any plans? You're a US you're a US fellow, right? I believe. You doing anything fun tonight? Is it legal to light fireworks in your state? Are there any shows? If not, Washington State's pretty rigid. It didn't used to be, but it's pretty rigid about fireworks in the summer with very hot summers. I personally am not a big fan of buying fireworks because I don't like to blow up my money, but I don't mind watching it. I don't mind watching shows. That's great, John Rudzinski. That's great. Thank you for letting me know. Anywho, I've been out all day hiking, and that's weird. You wouldn't think I'm that outdoorsy because I'm girly, but I am. Actually, that sounded like the biggest pick me thing ever. I'm cringing at myself. I didn't mean it to sound like that, but I was hiking all morning, chilling with friends. Yeah, USA. Yeah, USA. What the hell is a kilometer? I don't know if you've seen these memes. If you haven't, I sound insane. But yeah, no, I was hiking, and I've kind of made it an Independence Day tradition to go hike or go somewhere outdoorsy and explore. The reason why is because I don't see any better way to celebrate the beauty of America, the country, without going out into the land and just indulging yourself in the beauty of it. It's stunning. But to get to the hike today, it was an hour of traffic, but it was such a beautiful drive. That's the thing. I don't mind long drives. Actually, I really like driving. I don't mind as long as the drive is scenic. And so many drives are not. I don't like driving in cities and traffic and stuff like that. I don't like being stuck bumper to bumper with other cars in cities. I just feel very claustrophobic. I don't like that. Nobody does. I'm not some special flower for it, but long drives, even some traffic, and beautiful winding roads with nature and trees and landscape. Really beautiful. I don't mind in that case. I'll just turn on some, some sort of podcast regarding aliens and mysteries and the usual stuff and kind of zone out. Yeah, so it's gorgeous. Anywho, goodness, I don't even remember the last time that I specifically set out to watch fireworks for 4th of July. I feel like that was such a thing when we were kids, when we were all young, is you wanted to see the shows or you wanted to go in the downtown city areas and you wanted to not join, and maybe, okay, I don't know, but watch the 4th of July parades. And it was so festive and exciting. I just remember that feeling as a kid and the hot summer and finally not feeling freezing cold and layering up. It was fun. I don't remember though the last time that I've gone out of my way. Freezing my you know what here in Australia. Yeah, happy winter. Happy winter to you. I have a question, John. What is it like having Christmas time in the summer? Is that terrible? Because I feel like that would kind of ruin. I mean, if you've never known anything else, maybe it doesn't matter. But I feel like Christmas time in a hot climate really ruins the vibe. Am I right? Am I wrong? I mean, we have Santa Claus, North Pole, snowmen, freezing everything. That was the point. It's supposed to be a cozy time, but imagining this weather right now, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's Christmas time, that would be kind of sad. I don't know. It's got to be weird. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm picky, I like my environments in very specific ways. I kind of hyperfixate on that. Let's see. I've got a small family, but it's pretty boring. You're saying Christmas time in the sun and the heat is boring? That's an interesting way to describe it. I suppose some of the fun could be sucked out of it if it was not the right aesthetic ambiance going on. It's good to have a family around you, though. That's really what makes the seasons the holidays feel special. I'm I have a big family, but the members that I have near enough vicinity to, let's just say that, to celebrate together, pretty small. And all of my family, everyone's married off and they have their own families, and it's very beautiful. So for me, I also have kind of a blue Christmas every year. It's kind of lonely, But I am married. I have Eric, but how's your experience on the Whatever podcast? Goodness, I will answer that in 1 second. That's a long question to answer. I know of people that head to the beach during Christmas. I just can't, not my atmosphere. One time I went to Cancun, Mexico for 2 weeks during the last couple of weeks of December, and I spent Christmas there on the beach. And I had just never been to Mexico before, and I just had an opportunity to go with a group of friends. I was 21, perfect time to go. We had a condo in a resort. It was beautiful, and I don't regret it, but it didn't feel like Christmas whatsoever. But I did turn on Elvis's Blue Christmas and feel sorry for myself for no reason while I'm tanning on a gold, or actually white sand beach with clear teal waters. Rich girl misery vibes. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Usually work on Christmas Day though. I don't miss it that much. That's fair. That's fair. I feel like what makes Christmas special, and this is not coming from a gynocentric point of view. Speaking of that word I learned recently, gynocentric. Speaking of Whatever podcast. No, this is a feminine point of view, yeah. But I think women are what make the holidays special. Not just our presence, of course, but it's the little details and all the effort we put in to make the holiday magic happen. I just think that's the case. Call me crazy. Call me gynocentric. Let's see. Did the host put you on a bad panel? Okay, this is regarding Joey's question about my experience on the Whatever podcast. To be honest, did the host put me on a bad panel? Well, it's not up to the host per se. Well, it's not an intentional move that the host put me on a panel with specific individuals that may or may not have been a little bit boring, but you know, most of the girls on that panel were pretty lovely. And I have to say though, before the cameras were rolling, we were there an hour early. So everybody that joins the Whatever podcast is there an hour early, of course, to do camera checks, situate everybody, and all of that. Okay, normal technical stuff, but also you have time to talk to each other for a bit. You don't really talk to the host. He's extremely busy and very stressed. God bless him. He needs a wife. That's what I was telling him. You need a wife to help you. Well, maybe he just needs more business partners or whatever. But he's stressed and he does a lot of it himself, most of it actually. So he doesn't really chat much beforehand. But I did chat with some of the panel members, and let me tell you, the opinions and statements these girls were making before the cameras were rolling drastically changed tone as soon as they were being poked and prodded by Andrew Wilson. As you can imagine, when you are met with a contrarian, basically any point that you say, Andrew Wilson is going to dissect it and find out the flaws in it. He's good at debating. I respect him for that. Is he the nicest guy? No, I don't need him to be, though. He makes the show interesting. The panel, however, they were, believe it or not, the girls are quite clever that were on that panel, and they understood that if they actually opened their mouth and spoke freely about their opinions on things, they were going to be attacked. And so a lot of them didn't do that. And I have to say, there was one female there in particular. I haven't had enough of this espresso martini to tell you the details about her that I heard. Let's just say it's the lady with Botox. If you would like to know more details, please ask me, because I don't know if I should share right now. Have to pay for watches somehow. Is that regarding just working on Christmas? Yeah, I know. True. Don't go into credit card debt for watches. Why would you do that? Don't do that. You don't need a watch that bad. Stop. Somebody joined me on the panel, by the way. Actually, I don't know if any of you show your faces, but I'd love to see you. And it would be more of a good exchange back and forth if someone joins me. But either way, we'll continue. Ned says he lives in Florida. Warm weather on Christmas is a bit odd. I grew up in Indiana, where it's cold and snowy on Christmas. And I'm assuming you prefer the Indiana Christmases. Do you have family there that you could go and visit during the holidays, perhaps? Andrew's a free speech person. I don't think he would get mad. What do you mean? You don't think he'll get mad about what specifically? Are you talking about me sharing about one of the women that I'm referring to? That was a fraud. She's a fraud. He doesn't, and I don't think Andrew Wilson would care at all, because it's not his show. It's Brian Atlas's show. And he calls women frauds all the time. I don't think he'd care. In fact, I think personally, I think he'd love it, and he'd have a giggle and agree. Don't have a credit card, only cash. Honestly, yeah, you need to build up your credit for certain things, but I don't blame you. I kind of want to live off the grid. Eventually, Eric and I are planning to move out of the country and off the grid. Mom still lives in Indiana. Well, do you go and visit her during Christmas? Bring her a watch. John, you have amazing teeth. Are you talking about John here? Yeah, it's so beautiful. I'm getting choked up. I'm getting emotional. The other people speaking their minds and sharing their opinions. Okay, the thing is that the women on that show, a lot of them beforehand were saying all kinds of ridiculous things. Like one of them was saying, I'm not going to tell you which unless I have a little more to drink, but one of the ladies was going on and on about how she loved how tiny she was. She's so little. She's so small. Like she was being very sexualizing about it, and it was very infantilizing and very weird. And I had a feeling that that was going to be her talk on the show. She was gonna talk like that to try to be all sexual and like whatever. But she didn't because I realized she just wanted to suit whatever the men that were running that show, whatever narrative they wanted to hear. I hope they saw through it. I don't care if they saw through it, but I did. And I heard her. I heard her shift. It was weird. 5 watches are enough for now. Indeed. How much time do you really need to tell? I mean, let's be honest. Only 3 cards. Tim G's in the chats. Tim, cheers. Happy 4th of July, America. Let's pray to God, our next president, Donald Trump. If you can hear us, I'm just joking. Please tell me you know what that's from. Donald Trump, if you can hear us right now, help us, save us. No, honestly though, I'd take anything over a senile old man or his replacement, Kamala Harris, as she's decrepit, I think. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's so fake. By the way, somebody got really offended, and it was on Tim Wright's show. It was just on the other day. Somebody got really offended that I had posted something, shared something with Candace Owens. Okay, let me just be really clear with everybody watching. I don't really understand in what world you looked at me, listened to anything I said, and you got, she's a liberal. I just don't know how you could 1 + 1 = 2. I don't know. Where do you live? Country. Tim, I live in the USA. I live in Washington State. Oopsie. Ned, I think I hid your comment. Forgive me. I don't know. I'm new to StreamYard. 80-ish watches. Yes, I know I have a problem trying to decrease the collection size. Ned, it's time to have a garage sale. I'm just joking. Dang, that is crazy. What is your DOC? What is your most your brand you're most addicted to? Please tell us. We want to know. Copy Bahai. Oh, I hope I said that right. Are you Filipina? I can't tell. USA. Heart, host. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But if you're real and you're not a bot, happy 4th of July, baby girl. Love you lots. Tim says cheers. Cheers right back at you. Are you drinking a martini as well? Last night I made a traditional martini. Today I made an espresso martini, and it's not as cold because I made it and then I did my makeup and then I came on the show. So it's fine. I prefer it icy cold. But it's okay. It'll do. Too logical. Happy 4th, everybody. Happy 4th of July. I love America. God bless America. May we make good decisions. Do you think OnlyFans is ruining society? I think it is a symptom of a society that's falling. I think it's a symptom. But I think sexuality is something, it's a language that 99% of people speak. Okay? There are some people that claim they are asexual, so they do not feel sexual attraction. You know, don't want to get into a weird conversation. So we're not counting them, I guess. But everyone else, it is a language that everyone speaks. And so it is interesting how much it can be minimized, the effects of displaying one's sexuality in such a vulgar way. However, I think the larger conversation is what got us here? What made that okay? And I think it's been little by little happening. Just like, let's talk about AI for a second. Just like with AI, we've been getting desensitized to it for a long time until eventually, God knows what's going to happen. I'm kind of freaked out. I've heard songs, I'm not joking, I've heard songs, this is going to sound really funny, let's say it's a Britney Spears song, sung in Donald Trump's voice. It sounds exactly like he's singing it, right? And everyone's listening and laughing, like on TikTok or whatever, and like, it's so funny, it sounds so much like him. But what's happening, I think, largely, is that these little funny things are coming out so that we feel desensitized to them. So that by the time something bigger happens, we're just kind of like, oh well, you know, we're kind of used to it. And we don't even realize how far we've come from that. So it's getting crazy, guys. It's getting crazy. And I think OnlyFans is certainly a similar thing. Biden was embarrassing during that debate. He looked old, confused, senile. I don't know how anyone could deny the truth of that. He's not doing well. Okay, let me get through some of these chats. Tim said, awful and scary current administration. Amen. Fake, but she's still out there on the streets. Oh, you're talking about Kamala? Yeah, she was using some really I don't know I don't know the term for it, this certain talk that's rather hood-esque. She's like, yeah, girl, I'm out on these streets. Kamala Harris, you've never spoken like that a day in your life. It's like when Hillary Clinton was, she was speaking in front of like a black community and she said, I carry hot sauce in my bag at all times. Yeah, that's disgusting. Hey, Tim, why don't you come on the chat? Why don't you come on the panel, Tim? Let's chat. You know I can talk. Oisín, I'll come on to say hello for a few minutes. Yeah, Oisín, join. There's a link. I don't know if I need to figure out how to let people on. Let me know if it doesn't work if you click on the link, because I'm a newbie at this. Yeah, come on and say hi, Oisín. Tell us how much you love the USA. Yeah, curious about that. Tim said, gin, dirty martini, lots of olives. Sounds good. Oisín in the house. Yes, our favorite. Mr. O'Malley is shouting us all stogies. Wishing you all a happy 4th. I am a no sexual, unfortunately. Respect that. I respect it. All kinds. I have several Seikos, 2 Amigas, probably my favorites, and some micro brands. Yeah, the love of watches, it doesn't have to always be the most expensive, fanciest thing, but Seiko and Amiga are 2 brands that I love. I'm wearing my Seamaster today. Speaking of which, I was trying to do red, white, and blue. So we got white, oh, I'm messing with the mic, white, kind of, red, blue. She was using street vernacular. Okay, that's what we're calling it. True, she was. I love the Michael Jackson, Britney Spears video way back when, The Way You Make Me Feel. Dear Michaela, happy Independence Day to you, Eric, and everyone in the chat. Cheers. Happy Independence Day, Sean. Thank you so much for the super chat. 1999. You are so necessarily generous all the time, and we love you. Seriously, Sean. Pure class act. Nick says happy 4th. Hey, Michaela. Hi, Nick. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Happy 4th. Hello, Oisín. People are loving that he's here. That's good. Yeah, you should go on Andrew's stream in the future. I should go directly on Andrew Wilson's stream. Is that what you're suggesting? I don't know. I think he kind of hates me a little bit, but maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Speaking of which, I will be going back on the Whatever podcast, and I'm announcing it to anybody watching right now. I'm not going to officially announce it till like the day of or something, because there's a lot of loonies out there. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. And it's going to be this month. You all, if you are feeling right on the edge of ending it all, I just want you to know that you can watch the Whatever podcast 7-hour stream, and that will push you right on over. We have Tim joining us. Hey, Tim.
How are you?
I am
Happy 4th of
good.
July. Yeah, I see that. It's kind of a quiet day now because all the parties on the East Coast are over. So
Ooh.
you're 3 hours behind. Oh, that's my dog. Sorry about
So
that.
are you telling me at 10 o'clock the parties are over?
Yeah, especially
Wow, we're
during
so
work.
old now.
Now
Parties
that's
are over at 10. Wow. So did you actually go to a party? What'd you do? It's lagging. It's okay.
Hold
I think
on.
he's controlling his puppies.
Hold on. So
It's okay.
basically, I went to a club that I belonged to in Martha's Vineyard, and I basically was cocktail hour from like 5 to 7. Had like 3 drinks, had some hors d'oeuvres, had met some friends, and basically came home, saw some fireworks, and that was about it. So non-eventful, but it was a nice 4th of July. Perfect weather, absolutely
Nice.
perfect weather. Yeah, not
That's
bad.
nice. Did you
Yeah,
meet up with any lovely ladies when you were
I
out?
actually,
I
I
heard you
actually,
have a way with the ladies.
no, not really. I actually have a girlfriend here right now.
Oh, okay. Good.
So it works out pretty well.
You're not talking about one of your dogs, right? Like an actual
No,
female.
I don't
Okay,
have
okay.
any dog. He's actually a Nova Scotia duck trolley retriever. It's a small retriever, and they're hunting dogs. So
Ooh,
they're not really domesticated.
oh, really?
Yeah, not 100% domesticated. So they're not
You
like a,
just yours or like the
it's
dog breed
just
in
my
general?
it's just mine. It's just mine. So he goes from Massachusetts. I don't bring him to Florida because it's always too hot, but he goes from
Mm-hmm.
Florida to Tennessee.
Okay.
So
Did you
I've
just
got,
never train your dog, or you just thought, hey, like,
no,
I
no,
like you
no.
how you are?
He's trained to hunt. He's actually
Okay.
trained. He's this guy is actually trained to hunt. He's 2 years old,
Okay.
but he has anxiety when I leave him. So that's what's going on right now. Plus fireworks
Oh.
are going on.
Yeah, it's a hard night for the dogs. Yeah, I just remembered having a dog. We had to put our, um, what was he, a Jack Russell Terrier. We had to put him down during 2020. That was one of the worst years ever. But he got very freaked out during the fireworks and everything. Poor thing. He's also the hunting dog, or what are they, retrieving, fetching dogs? I don't know specifically because he didn't do anything. He had such a pompous attitude that if you pet him, he would literally look at you and almost roll his eyes. Thinking about a dog doing that is just unreal, but it's true.
Well, yeah. Well, this dog's interesting because what he does, or this breed, what they do is they flush out birds, and then you can shoot them, and then they'll retrieve the bird. So the dog has two aspects of what they're trained to do, or what they're genetically trained to do. It's
Hmm.
they're absolutely gorgeous dogs, but they're not for the lighthearted. I mean, lots of energy, lots of everything. There he is. So now you've got all the A team. So we're good.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Hey
We
guys,
just need Sean too.
there you go. Then you'll
Hey,
have a full
Oisín.
panel. Hey, how's it going,
Oh my
darling?
gosh, look at that USA representation. I
Yeah,
thought
look
you'd
at
be
that.
burning the flag in the background. I had a feeling. More
Ugly.
like it.
I'm anti-America. Come on.
No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Don't you love it though? Isn't it beautiful?
That is so cool. What is it? It's an actual flag, right? I can't
Yeah,
quite
I
see
just
through the
draped it
dark.
over my TV. It's way
Right.
bigger than the TV, so it just falls over.
Actually, it's nice. It drapes right over. It
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
something way back, like during the Revolutionary War. Actually,
That's what I
Is
wanted. I was talking about this on Tim's stream some time ago, and the X panel, they're very, one of the guys is actually called America. So, and and they all assume the same thing as Michaela just joked about there a second ago. And I was like, I'd love a nice, big, worn looking, war torn looking flag.
It's got a nice patina to it,
Yeah,
yes.
nice patina. Like I don't like the silly little things on the sticks in the gardens, 50 of them in a line. I like these big, heavy, it,
Beautiful.
it
that's
took
like
it
that
took a
looks like
lot
a,
of pain. A lot of
yeah,
people died
absolutely.
for the freedom. So give
Hmm.
me something that looks like that. And one of the viewers sent me this thing. It's
Wow.
enormous. It's enormous. It was a beautiful gift.
It's
That is
it's
beautiful.
actually looks really nice. It's cotton. It looks like too.
It's
Yeah.
canvas,
Oh,
baby.
it's canvas. Okay.
Not
Yeah.
Wow.
cotton. It's
Wow.
proper heavy canvas. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
beautiful.
Leave the little stick flags for the 15-year-old girls. He's a real
Right.
man. He needs a real flag.
I need the thing with a couple of holes in it somewhere, and all it has to be all worn down. What are you drinking, McKenna?
I made espresso martini, one singular, because I don't know what it is, but when I make cocktails, it's so strong. I'm buzzed after 2 drinks. Granted, I've been in the hot sun all day. We were hiking all day. Well, it took a few hours, but yeah, it's the first time making an espresso martini, but it's excellent. It's good because I like to control the amount of sweetness. Usually they're a little too sweet for me. In
Mm,
this way, it's extra strong vodka, extra strong espresso. Just very
yeah,
extra, like myself. Suits me.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. That's actually nice because the other thing is that it's a good nightcap drink.
Hmm.
You might
Interesting.
have
Really, an
like
espresso
Yeah, I was gonna
martini?
say an
Fucking
espresso
wake
before
you up. What
bed.
are you talking about?
you'll probably have like 2 or 3 of those so you can stay up at night though. That's the
The
secret.
pregnant pause after you said that, by the way, was beautiful.
Pregnant pause. You have a way with words. Beautiful. Yeah. No, I was gonna say I always thought about how a lot of people think of after dinner you have like a small cafe and a dessert. And I'm just thinking like it must be nice not having to get up in the morning. What are you wearing? Are you wearing the bluesy?
Somebody's asking me about the AP. No, I'm wearing the bluesy right now. The time's all wrong.
Oh, that's
Sometimes I put
very
on a
nice.
watch and realize I haven't set the time.
Oh,
Because
that's
it's got
beautiful.
some blue. I
That's
don't know.
absolutely
I'm trying to
gorgeous.
be themed here, but I'm failing miserably. Except for the
No, you're not
flag.
failing.
Except for the
No, you're not
flag.
failing.
I was actually on my way to bed and you popped on live and I was like, oh great.
Well, I'm glad you
I'll
came
have a
on.
nightcap and then I'll piss off. I won't take over
What,
your
what time?
hotel.
What time? What time is it there? What time is it there in Italy?
It's 4:20.
Okay, yeah, it's about it's
4:20 a.m. Oh my goodness.
a.m. Oh my gosh.
That's
Okay,
usually when you get up, Michaela.
yeah.
Yeah, but nearly. Goodness. You are a night owl.
Oh shit, yeah.
Every night, or
And
is it
it's
just more
millions
of
of
back and
years.
forth?
It's millions of years with the band. That was my problem. I just did
Hmm.
so many years in clubs and bars and venues and events every single night of my life. Whenever I saw New York City, it was at, in the morning, it was at, the time I was going home. I
Hmm.
would never see New York City at sunrise unless it was on my way to bed. It was just living in bar. That's the if you become a musician in any real capacity, you fall in love with the night, and all your friends do the same thing, and everyone's a functioning alcoholic. Absolutely everyone is, and that just becomes your reality. A morning, wake up in the morning, have a jog at 6 a.m. kind of thing is just super foreign. You may as well be talking to a Martian.
Oisín, you probably can.
Who's running at 6 a.m.?
You
Goodness.
probably can.
Everyone in California is.
You're right. That's why they all look so fit.
Yeah,
I was
right.
just in Santa Barbara and I was
Oh,
walking
everyone is
to
fit
like
there.
the pier. No, I'm serious. So it's like if you want the California experience, this is what I learned. Usually you'd think like LA, but now LA unfortunately is just trashed. And so now I'm like, I want golden beaches, palm trees, whatever. And so we're walking along the beaches, going to the docks and whatnot. And oh my gosh, every single person, even the women with no makeup, they're sweaty, they're running perfect. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, just running by. I'm like, that's why you look so good. You're running in the sun all day long.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered, but I love to see it. It's nice to see it.
The coastline of Southern California, all the way up to Santa Barbara, is absolutely gorgeous. Not to mention all the way up to like Carmel by the Sea too. I mean, the Pacific Highway there is just a gem. Everyone should drive that once.
Yeah, I agree. The 101?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely.
absolutely a gorgeous like drive.
I missed out not renting a car when I was there, but at the same time, I was not there that long, so it's okay. I was there for a few days, but I'm going back soon. This
You
time's
want
gonna be just in and out.
one thing I noticed was with California, and I love California. I spent a lot of time in the San Francisco and the Bay Area. We did some time in LA. I like San Diego. And I noticed, just speaking of the fitness thing, because life is so convenient, everyone's in a car, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone's, getting delivery to their home. It facilitates that kind of overweight lifestyle. Everyone's going to get overweight unless they're a fitness freak.
Mm.
So as opposed to here, everyone's fucking skinny here, right? But that's because they just eat normal, regular, nourishing food. It's not because they're in the gym. It's just like a different thing. I'm the big, monster walking around my area.
Monster.
But it's also the Irish, the Irish meat. But I noticed in California, it's like you're either super dumpy or you're super, super fit. Like there was no one in between. It was either
Hmm.
people who were in the gym, they were gym rats, or they were lounging on the couch watching Netflix and ordering food to the house. There was very little in between. That's what I
In
noticed.
and out specifically.
In and out.
I tried
So you
In
were
and Out for the first
disappointed
time.
with the In and Out.
So I
Oh,
tried In and Out for the first time.
it's an institution. It's totally an
But
institution.
but my problem is probably because I did a lettuce wrap burger and that probably ruined it a little bit. I mean, that's not as good. I feel like if you're gonna go for it, you should just go for it. but I kind of went the healthier route. That's probably what it was.
So you won't have any sort of bread or anything like that.
No, I will here and there. I just make a very specific point not to do it often. It just makes me sluggish and I don't like it. It's not my thing. I don't purchase it. It's not in my house.
I get it.
It sounds like I'm scared of it. Maybe I am.
No, I get it. I get it.
Oh, Sheehan, you're starting walking around and you're the big burly Irish guy. To put words in your mouth a little bit. Do the Italian women love it because it's a little something different? I feel like they would, right?
The Italian women would like me a lot more if I were more blonde
Ew.
and
Sorry, anyone blonde watching.
Germanic looking.
Wow, really?
Unfortunately, I kind of look a little bit Italian. I go back to Ireland, and then it all works. But I was always a fish out of water in Ireland. But I come over here, and people back in the band days when they were here a million years ago, everyone thought that we were an Irish band with an Italian bass player. They always assumed, oh, he's the only Italian in the band.
I
And
could
I
see
was
that.
like the most Irish fucker in the band. But they didn't know because they just assumed by looking at my coloring and my hair and all that.
Hmm.
But obviously, yeah, the exoticness, sure. Yeah, yeah. The second they hear you speak or they notice that your eyes are actually green and not brown and details. And they also
Mhm.
notice the 46-inch chest and stuff. They're just like, oh, he's a big Irish stallion. There's Sean.
Hey, Sean. By the way, happy Independence Day, David Leons. Love you. So glad you're watching.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean. How are
Hello,
you?
Dan.
Good to
How are
see
you?
you on.
Happy 4th.
Before.
Yes. Are you in the West Coast? East Coast?
West Coast, LA.
Okay. Nice and
Yeah.
early still for you then.
It is. We are waiting for the fireworks to start. We kind of hear it in the background. We have a country club that's about a block and a half away, and every year they put on a great show. And so my wife is waiting this time. We typically look at it from our balcony, and it's nice. But this time she wants to walk down there before it starts, and so we're probably going to do that. We're waiting for that. We had a wonderful.
Sean, you got
afternoon
some
late.
sort of audio. Sorry to interrupt. You have an audio issue going on. Maybe it's a noise cancellation thing or something. Dirk
It's like
recently
pulsing in and out.
Dirk had the same thing. Every now and then it sounds like you're burping, you're belching or something. Dirk
We
had the
know
same
you're
thing,
not.
and he
The fact is, I do that all the time. So maybe that's what it is. Is that
it's a
better?
bit better. Yeah, I just want to save you from
Are
that.
are you close to the Beverly Hills Country Club or the Bel Air Country Club? You've got to be.
No. I live in the
Don't
Century
dock
City
yourself.
area,
Okay,
and
got it.
there's
Okay.
there's a country club nearby Hillcrest that has they do the fireworks.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we had a wonderful date. We went to a nice restaurant. I don't know if Tim G knows. It's called oh shoot, I go there all the time. The owner is a Roman. He's from Rome, as a matter of fact. He's in Rome right now, and but he's got great staff, and you get authentic food. He makes his own tomato sauce, and also the pasta, the bread, everything. So we went there, and then afterwards, Shima and I let's go. I feel like I want to get a summer fragrance that reminds you of the Amalfi Coast and so forth. Anyways, Shima, that's okay. And then so we went to the nearby mall and met this wonderful guy that was a brand ambassador, and this is a brand that I've never owned. And I was in the Creed section and the Tom Ford, but there wasn't anything that gave you that Italian vibe. And the lady from Creed actually introduced me to this gentleman, and it was a great experience. We were there probably 45 minutes, and he gave us the scents and Japanese this, Chinese that, and he took us around the world with the scent experience that he gave us. and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. So, and then we come home and then we see Michaela uh, doing the stream, and then you
Oh,
gentlemen jumping on. So had to join the party.
we're glad you did.
Lovely.
Hmm,
How's your afternoon going?
really nice. Good. No, that's nice. Yeah, having a specific scent for the summer. It's like Oisín and I were just talking about it. Having specific watches for different seasons,
Right.
brighter, fresher colors for
Yeah.
sunnier days. And I think that's a great thing. Just like with your wardrobe, you switch it out. Same with scents. There are scents that I can just douse myself in the winter, and it's so sexy and like sensual and decadent and elegant. But then in the summer, it's just too
Yeah.
much. So I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah. This guy was so good, guys, that he would say, I was up. Shima was doing her thing in one of the stores in Beverly Center, and then I was at Bloomingdale, and typically I don't go there to shop for scents. I go to my favorite spots, and I'm glad that I went somewhere that I typically don't go. And this guy was the brand ambassador for Acqua de Parma, which of course
Hmm.
Oh,
everybody
nice.
knows, and they got that iconic scent that we were talking about. When you smell, you remember your grandpa. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but this guy was so good, guys, that he would give you a description of what the scent is, and then when you smelled it, it would be exactly what he said. And one thing about scents is probably it's one of those senses that will just take you over. If you close your eyes, it will take you for a um, for a trip. It will take you to wherever it wants to take you in the world. And then I called Shima. I said, Shima, you have to come here. And she came over, and the guy was fantastic. It
Hmm.
happens that the guy is actually French. He's from Biarritz. He was born in Biarritz, and but he was representing an Italian brand. So really, really
Cool.
cool stuff. Yeah.
Oisín, do you wear a scent?
It's one of the things that I have to catch up on. So I have what is it called? Creed Irish Mist or whatever that
It's yeah.
Tim Wright gave me a gift of. I actually put
Hmm.
it on the other day because I was
Oh, there
heading
you
out to
go.
a bar,
Yeah.
and I suppose it suits me, but it's not very summery. It's kind
Hmm.
of
It's not.
autumny.
It's heavy. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
heavy and it's
Yeah.
dark and all of
Yeah.
that. And then I went. Was it 2 years ago with Carissa? We did that live thing. We went scent shopping,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and I put on everything in the fucking store, and
Hmm.
she decided that one of them, I can't remember what it was. It's in the video. She said that's the one, and I bought the bottle, and it was $200, and
Damn.
then, and she held the bag, and then whatever the night went on, and but it went in her bag basically, and
Hmm.
then we realized that she stole my scent. she she
Oh,
left the next morning for
that's kind
Milan,
of.
and
Oh
it
my
was like,
gosh.
I have the bottle in your bag. I was like, oh god damn it, that
Not to
was.
sound weird, but that's kind like I had a drink, okay, but I'm gonna say it sounds like the beginning of a love story or something. And then she smells it and she thinks of you.
I was supposed to go get the bottle in Milan, but then I didn't. I'm not going to talk much about what happened there, but yeah, I lost that bottle, so I never really got to wear the scent. And
Hmm.
I've had a lot of people saying you've got to get into perfume and eau de toilette and all of those things, and it's something I don't know a whole lot about. I think this guy
Yeah.
over here can probably help me. What would you
Yeah.
recommend if I go
Sean,
tomorrow and buy something nice for the summer? What would you recommend, Sean? No offense, Tim. I'm going to ask Sean first. I'm
no,
sure you know a
I
lot
know
better.
nothing about it. I just
Oh,
gave
okay,
feedback.
okay.
Yeah. I generally you want to get something that's got a lot more oil, something a perfume or a eau de parfum.
Uh-huh.
Um, they tend to last longer.
Hmm.
Um, I believe you were referring to Irish tweed with Creed, and obviously when you
Yeah,
say tweed, already it suggests winter.
right. Yeah.
But listen,
I'm a complete novice. I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, I totally get it. I have a lot of scents that have citrus in them. Typically, citrus is more of a lighter,
Yeah, for
summery,
summer. Yeah, I figured that.
summery. But I wanted to have something that's a little bit not too citrusy. Um, bergamot is very, very good if you get something with
Thank you.
something that's a little bit.
Is that Eric?
Oh,
Is that
what
Eric in
look
the
at
back?
you.
He just
What
brought
is
me
your
another. I
nickname?
love him.
Why don't you bring
What-
Eric into the stream? I love
I'm
that guy.
telling you right now, nobody should ever get it twisted. I would have him on every photo of mine, every single stream. I'm obsessed with him, but he doesn't want to be on camera. And I will never force a man that doesn't want to be on camera. I will never force him to do something he doesn't want to.
I just kind of miss him because I haven't seen him in so
I
long.
know.
He's a
I get
handsome
that.
devil.
I totally get
It
that.
would be, it would be great. What are you drinking? Is that the
It's
espresso
an
martini?
espresso martini, yes.
Yeah,
But
great.
he brought me the ugly. So I used the nice clear glasses for this one. No, for the espresso martini, I like the clear martini glasses. For regular martini, I like the slightly green tinted glasses. But we ran out of the clear one, so he brought me the green one. So the coffee in the green glass looks a little bit icky. It's not.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I'm very specific about things, but he's a champion for bringing me this.
I can only assume the level of coffee is pretty high in that household.
It's Julius Meinl espresso, straight espresso. I like Tito's vodka. Believe it or not, it's not that expensive, but for some reason it doesn't. It's not
like
hangover
it
inducing.
It's highly rated. It's awesome. It's
Listen, guys. Now you're asking me something I know a lot about. Okay, we went for something I know nothing about to something I know about. First of all, vodka is not a refined thing at all. Okay, there are cocktail bars in this country where you can get every different kind of whiskey and everything, and they literally don't have vodka because they're like, vodka is paint stripper. So there's no shame with Tito's. Tito's is great. You can get a big 2-liter bottle at Costco that'll last you all
That's exactly correct.
It's just fucking, it's paint stripper. It's pure alcohol. You don't put on weight when you drink vodka. Maybe a little bit around the face because you retain a little water, but it's not a fattening drink, and you get bombed out of your mind, and it's great for, So vodka is like, it's not there's these people who say, oh, this is higher level vodka, lower level vodka. What are you talking about? It's paint stripper. All of it's paint stripper.
It's hand sanitizer, baby. It's all the same.
Yeah.
I just feel like Tito's, for some reason, it tastes really clean, simple.
Yeah.
It works. And I don't drink
vodka.
a lot at home. I really don't drink at home, but it's a holiday, so I like to do something special for that. I only like to drink when I go out. I don't know. I just usually get up so early and don't feel like drinking, but I like to go out to nice dinners. And if you think I'm not going to have half a bottle of wine at a nice dinner, you're wrong. I'm going to every time.
Nice.
Very cool.
What did you just put on, Sean? Your new scent?
Yes, the Acqua di Parma that I got, it's the Colonia Club.
Okay.
I've never had Acqua di Parma. I always thought it was like, not that there's anything wrong with it. It was like Old Spice. I thought it was just reminded you of older stuffy men, but they have a lot of sense, and it has that.
Hey.
Southern Italy. Southern Italy.
We love old stuffy men around here. Don't worry.
But
it's a safe zone for them.
It was in Rome, and I went to the Giorgio Armani store to get a couple of things. They had a great selection of scents there, and I grabbed one and I tried. I put it on, and as a matter of fact, this morning or earlier today, before coming to pick up Shima, I went to the Giorgio Armani boutique on Redo, but they were closed. I was going to go and try to find it, and I ended up with this. Go to the Giorgio Armani boutique. I believe there's one in Venice. If not, go to the big department store they have, and then try theirs. I can't tell you which one it was. They have several, but it was so light, and the day that I put it on, it was nearly 90 degrees with a lot of humidity, and it stayed on for a long time, and it was very light and refreshing. So go to Giorgio Armani and try. And I typically don't get fashion brand colognes. I like to go to
Smart.
people that specialized, with
Hmm.
exception of Tom Ford, because their scents are such high quality. But that Giorgio Armani was really good, and also Bulgari has some nice scents. In the past, I had summer scents. Bulgari has some
What
nice
about
scents.
Penhaligons? Do you like Penhaligons?
Yeah,
Hit or
I've had them. They're
miss.
nice.
Hit or miss,
There,
really?
I think it's called
Yeah.
Hafidi. Hafidi. I don't want to miss say it. I picked out a Penhaligons. They are one thing really good about it is they're extremely high quality. They're going to last you if you put it on once, it's gonna last you till you die. It will never come off your skin. It's very concentrated,
I don't
which is
like that.
yeah. So you have to go really light on it.
I'd have to be really sure about how I want it
You'd
to
have to be really
smell.
sure and really
Yeah.
light. And they have a lot of. I mean, I'm sure they have many different scents, but the Hafidi has a very sharp pine note mixed in with everything else, and that just overtakes it a lot. But the quality is amazing. The quality is good. It's a quality brand. I'm a sucker for Clive Christian, though. I had to say, there's so many scents that are so sexy, so
Hmm.
masculine, and there's really something for everyone because unlike a lot of perfumes that they claim, like this is so different, the top notes are this, that, and you smell them and you're like, actually, it's not that I am such a newbie that I am just thinking everything smells the same, but it kind of does. One smells more alcoholic than the other. But in the case of Clive Christian, the scents are so drastically different from each other. I did a little perfume video, fragrance video a while back on my channel, and I was going through some of the Clive Christian. But there is something to be said about the natural scent of a man. Obviously, you got to take a shower. Duh. I don't know why. I've been hearing a lot of talk on Twitter, formerly X, which I anonymously stalk stuff. I do not have an active Twitter. I just can't be bothered with that. Um,
Me
but I
neither.
like to read people's but I like to read some people's opinions on there, some political stuff, whatever. People are so angry on there. It's kind of like mind numbing, interesting, whatever. I heard a lot of people that live in Europe and they're talking about scent or pheromone maxing, which they say they're doing by not showering for days and days as a man, and so that your natural scent takes over. Your body gets
Sounds pretty
used.
gross.
It is gross. They say your body gets over the body odor aspect of it, and it just like pushes past it. I'm like, no, no, you just get used to it. Take a shower. Oh, it strips me of my natural oils. Good. Strip yourself of your natural oils. Take a damn shower. What's wrong with everyone?
Well,
What
there's
is
a
wrong with white people? That's like a white people thing. They're like, I'm not showering every day.
French. The French are terrible at that. I hate to say it. I love
Oh, the
French
Mm.
wine.
French are definitely terrible at that.
French wine and French cheese is amazing, but the French,
Oh god.
it's an
No.
issue, and the Turks as well sometimes forget to shower, which is strange because
I don't think it's a forgetting.
they have a lot
Oh,
of
I just think it's hygiene.
cleanliness. It's not a hygiene thing. I think it's they don't like to use deodorant, unfortunately. So, but anyway, I don't want to get into the Turks are extremely clean people and so on. But
Mm-hmm.
the here's the thing that you're mentioning this. So I don't know how many exes would get up right there, and sniff like literally go and just go like I'd come along for arrive at the place, or they'd come along and I'm cooking dinner and they'd be like, and they go and they just, and I didn't have anything on, they'd just be like, they liked the natural whatever it is in the skin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is.
It's your
And then
pheromones.
speaking of Carissa, that time when we were looking for scents, she was like, you know what? I like a man to smell like fucking cigars and whiskey. I like him
Mm-hmm.
to smell like a fucking man. There's
Mm-hmm.
something a little too effeminate about spraying on stuff. You want the man to smell like he worked all day, not stinky and horrible, but that he's, that natural sweat smell or whatever. It's up to the woman to spray stuff all over herself because she's the flower, right? Whereas the man is there. So I always ran with that. It was my
Yeah.
easy way out.
I'm in
It
that.
saved me a lot of money,
I'm in
basically.
that camp. I'm in that camp. I just have bay rum after I shave. And
Mm.
that's about it.
Nothing wrong with that. And I think there's something to be said. If there is a woman her head is nuzzled into your neck and she can't stop inhaling, like it's some
That's
kind of
it.
drug, that's how you know the attraction is a good fit. at least from her
That's what I
entry.
call chemistry.
Yeah, it's part
When
of
they like your
chemistry
natural
deeply.
smell,
Hmm.
that's fucking chemistry. Maybe you don't smell that good, but to them you smell that good. Some people like the smell of, seafood at the restaurant. Some people like garlic bread smell. Some people like
Hmm.
tobacco smell. If they like your smell, you're halfway there. That's half a chemistry. Because
Indeed,
you
it
know what?
is.
No matter how beautiful a person may look, then you get intimate and you better like their smell. You can't describe a smell in a photograph, kids. So you better like this. And the other way around, maybe you're not that interested in someone, you don't find them physically attractive, but you wind up having a good night with them and so on. And then you get their smell and their aura. There's so much more to chemistry than just,
That's
what.
so interesting you bring that up because I was just having a conversation with one of my friends who is one of the most intellectual females I've ever met, just naturally. It's just like her brain, the way it thinks. But she was just talking about how she believes there is an internal language that everybody speaks and it is different from each other. But when she believes that chemistry happens when that internal language, you meet somebody and they can understand it the closest. You know how sometimes you click really close with a friend versus just fun acquaintances that you like, or when you actually bond with like a woman, or a man, like in my case, and you just really have that chemistry. I think chemistry is part of that internal language, and some people just so happen to speak that similar internal language. I think things like scent, mannerisms, micro expressions, all of that comes into play with it because scientists don't quite understand chemistry. They just don't
Yeah.
quite understand it. It's one of those things where you think people would have everything in common, or they're just both so attractive, and for some reason it's not happening. So it's one of those interesting
That's why I
things.
never believed in online dating, because what can you tell from a description and a photograph? There's so little. You could wind up with all sorts of different people when you meet them. People say, don't meet someone in a bar. I'm like, absolutely meet them in a bar. Because for one, you're right there in front of them. You can smell them. You're speaking, you're looking at them as they speak, they're looking at you. They're also having a drink, which means they're probably a bit more relaxed and natural and not, putting on some sort of facade. Absolutely meet over, between that and meeting someone
An
on a
app.
phone.
Hmm. At
My
least there's an
God.
organic moment of connection. And that's the thing
Yeah.
is
And some
there's
people don't
something.
look that good in a photo. They
No.
look much better under a neon beer sign like I do.
That's pretty funny because I in the mornings when I'm in either Boston or New York or Miami or wherever, my best spot of meeting the opposite sex is at Starbucks. To this
Yeah, you
day,
mentioned that last night.
and it's to
Yeah.
this day because I can. You're usually waiting a line, and if someone is attractive, I can have them just cut in front of me, and then we can start talking, or I can just sit back.
That's a good move, letting somebody cut in front of you. He's like, oh no, you go first. That's such a good move. That gives you an in.
Yeah,
Smart. Hey
absolutely.
man, if you're listening and need some dating tips.
Absolutely. So that's what I typically. I did try those apps. I tried them. I tried them all. They're just awful. They're just awful.
Quick,
I
So
think
quick,
the
quick.
point of the app is to keep you on the app. They don't want you to
yes,
have success. They want to
yes,
keep, because the moment you have success, you don't need the app anymore, right?
Indeed.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
That's
I
so
how it
Tim,
works.
Tim, I
never
got
did it in my life. The one time I ever did it in my life. I'm sorry to take over the conversation. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
But sorry, I'll shut up in a
No, don't shut
second.
up.
No,
We're
I'm
allowed
on
no.
to
my way to
talk.
bed anyway. The one time I did it for my friend, she wanted to stalk some guy she was dating on a dating app, and he was into open relationships, but she really liked him. So she wanted to know how active he was. So she was like, can you pretend you're some hot girl? Like, we'll find photos on the internet. So I had to play the role of some girl and talk to the guy. That was the only time I ever signed up to a dating app ever in my
No, I
life.
was hoping you just put a wig on. Um,
Yeah,
that'll
so
attract some interesting fellows.
with the weird.
That's crazy.
No,
Tim,
but usually,
Tim, are
usually
you
at
telling
Starbucks,
me?
everyone's either fresh in the morning in the sense that they want to go to work or whatever, but also they're they're in a happy state or they're in a thinking state where you can just sort of chat with them. So I mean, in a line in New York or in Boston or in Miami, it's just so easy. It's just so easy
Yeah.
because you can just
Mhm.
and you can
So,
pick
got
your
a question.
yeah.
If you have two or three ladies walking together separately, but they're
Oh, you have
walking
a
together,
problem
do you go, okay, you cut in front of me, you two go behind
then.
at the end of the line?
No, usually
Michaela, do you have control over Sean's volume there? Can you turn his volume up?
You
We can
know,
hear him
really,
well. It's just
you
the
know what?
volume is
It's
so much
funny.
lower.
yeah, I can turn it up. I can turn it up.
Sean,
Yeah.
it's funny you mentioned that, but usually they don't walk in together at a Starbucks in the morning. If you think
Yeah.
about it, they walk in at a bar, but they walk at a bar at night, but they together, but they don't walk. They usually are separate, and then you can see if they have a child or obviously the ring around the finger and everything else. But it's almost like a give me. I mean, if I can
Yeah.
do this, then most anyone can do it.
You
That's
know,
all I got.
I've heard a huge complaint, and not to bring up the podcast that I was on because I've been talking about it forever, but one of the complaints that a lot of younger men in the dating scene have about dating is that they are becoming so affected by rejection. They're saying like an average woman can go out and get if she wanted to, she could get a date with any guy, like she asked basically. But even a decent looking guy, his chances are even lower when he just approaches random women and asks them out. Like he's going to get rejected more than even an average woman would be rejected if she were to do the same. And I notice that they're complaining a lot about that, but I just think that what advice would you give them, Tim, as someone who does pick up ladies in real life? How do you deal with the rejection of when you do ask a woman to go out with you? Like, what would you
Well,
recommend to the
in
heathens struggling?
in business, I get rejected all the time because I'm always looking for a deal for either
Mm-hmm.
buying a business or buying some sort of real estate. So I get rejected daily. So for me, after many years of all of this business acumen, finally I've got some sort of common sense and confidence. Let's put it that way, because again, I was a nerd in high school. That basically I can pretty much go up to anyone now and just start a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And what you want to try to do is find some sort of commonality. Sometimes you may not have commonality. And getting rejected is just part of the game. It's just part of the game. And more likely you're going to be rejected than accepted. Especially with the issue with the app with these dating apps is that uh, not to sound mean, but the average looking or the ugly looking person is also can be a 10 on those apps where in real life they're not. Okay. So I look at like three things for women when I'm dating. One is, are they bitter? So if I find them bitter, that's like,
What is that supposed to mean? I'm just joking.
well, I think like
No, that was bitterness. That was
yeah,
me
I think
pretending.
like a lot of women are just plain after a certain age are just bitter, are just really bitter.
No, I know
Second,
it's
second
true.
thing is that I look at is that are they put together? And the put together is like huge because most men and women, I can say in America, are not put together at all, at all. Not like I'm a snob or anything, but the thing is that they've got to have some sort of like sense or
Yeah,
style
you're
or
right.
or
Good point.
whatever. And we've totally have lost that. I mean, if you get on an airplane today, everyone's in like sweats. They're in like it's kind of gross. Actually, it's kind of
It's pretty stanky. Yeah, it's stinky over
yeah,
here.
yeah. So I look
It's
at
getting
I
gross.
look at that. The third thing is when I look at, obviously I don't want any more kids. So I don't want someone who's that much younger, but I don't want to also have the burden of having their child also at a younger age. So I mean that gets rid of a lot of people too. So that's kind of a selfish thing, but all those three things are sort of selfish in their own way, you know. So the bitter thing is
Yeah.
huge though, because I think most people are bitter, are really, really bitter for various reasons. And I'm
If you want to.
I'm not singling out like men are bitter as well, but women can be really, really bitter, and they're bitter
Hmm.
against their own and everything else. So, but being put together is another huge aspect. Most people are not put together. I mean, you walk down like Geneva, or you walk down Paris on their main drags, and they are really put together. They are really put together. You walk down areas of Manhattan. People are put together, but then there are other areas that are just they're they're they they're just not put together. I mean, that's just the way it is, you know?
I'm I'm gonna tell you something about the airline when you say people go in there with sweats. I can understand why they go with sweats because they want to be comfortable, especially at long flights. But what's worse is when you see those same people a couple hours later, they've taken their slippers off, their shoes off, and with their socks, barefooted, they go into the bathroom. I'm going, what are you thinking?
Yeah, that's true actually.
When I go to the
You better
bathroom and I
square up
come,
next time you see that,
when I
Sean.
when I go to the bathroom in the toilet in the plane, when I come back, I'll try not to even my foot doesn't even touch the personal
The
bag that
ground.
I have
You
underneath
actually
this.
levitate.
Yeah,
I would
I mean
too.
it's just crazy. Real quick before I forget, there was a gentleman, I believe his name is Ned. Sometime a while
Hmm.
ago, he asked, "What can I watch?" By the way, which matches your lipstick, matches your dress. There you go,
Oh,
Ed Flanders. He asked,
oh my gosh.
this is a today I said, you know what? I want to go patriotic. I have a blue top, white pants. I wore my oxblood red single
Blancpain.
malt strap Berlutis, and also my oxblood red belt. And I put on my red Persol, the Steve McQueen, the ones that fold. They don't make those anymore. And I said I have to put on my red blanc pain. And this, since I
Sickening.
changed the strap,
Sickening. Get
I've been
out of
wearing this
here.
a lot. This is
I
my
rebuke you.
most worn. This would look great on your wrist, by the way. This is you.
Oh well, I guess if I found a Blancpain, in the bin, I guess I'd wear it. Goodness, Blancpain is one of my favorite watch brands.
Yeah.
And when I saw you post that the other day, I was just like, Sean, what is wrong with you? You're wearing my favorite brands. You're wearing all my favorite brands of watches. You know Cifanelli. You know all of these people. You know the owners of these huge shoe and fashion houses. You're an awesome guy. You really are. I
Well,
think the
you're too
watch
kind. Thank you.
community brings out some weirdos for sure. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of gremlins in the watch community, but somehow there are also some of just the best people out there. And
It,
right now
it,
on this panel, I got some of the best. Really, really do.
well,
But
the one on the top left corner is the best, and she's wearing red. So, and I'm sure
oh,
the other two
stop it.
gentlemen agree, and everybody else. You know, the way you get to know people is you reach out to them, right? It's not just the people that you go, even the people that you go and you check out their products, you go see them, I know you buy, but then you establish relationship. The way I know Franco is just like I reached out to Oisín and I reached out to Franco on one of my trips. I reached out and say, hey, can we get together? Saw him, we talked, and we kept in touch. And as to this day, we keep in touch. We communicate electronically, and whenever I'm there, I reach out to them. The gentleman from Stefano Bemmer's, again, interesting characters. It's good to surround yourself with people that have done something and have something interesting to share or talk to you about. So it's all about, hey, you reach out and
Networking.
you find out that these are amazing, down to earth people, and
No,
you
if
just keep in touch
networking
with
could be
them.
a pill, if
Yeah,
networking could be put in a pill form, I would make sure to shove that down the throat of every single elementary
yeah,
age child because it's
yeah,
one of the most important and valuable things you can learn. It doesn't matter how reserved you are, how confident you are, if you don't understand the art of networking,
yeah,
you're not going to really make it big in life. Now, big
yeah,
is relative, right? It's based on your own opinion and measurements of things and happiness and whatnot.
yeah.
But in general, in anything when it comes to your work, okay, your friends, your relationships, connections, networking's everything. So you are
Yeah.
sending a good message. Oisín, your flag lit up.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
Looks
I put
good.
the TV on behind it.
That's
Just
the
to give
TV.
some,
Yeah, it's like
We
a
need
Chris,
like a Lana Del Rey music video to
Chris,
play.
it looks like a lot of Del Rey.
It
Hey
does. I
guys,
love it.
Zach F is talking about he loves his Steve McQueen Persol. So here's something interesting. The other day I was at the Persol store in Rodeo, and they have a Persol original black Persols because they don't make them anymore. They make them in it's like a tortoise light brown and one in dark brown. And the black one they don't make anymore, but they have one. Check this out, guys. It's the identical one that Steve McQueen wore from
wow,
1963. They
wow,
have one. It's new, 1963, that you can buy, and it's
that's
for
incredible.
sale. Guess how much?
I'm even afraid to guess. It's got to be. I would say over. I'm afraid to say. I'm afraid to say because something like that, it's to a lot of people, it's priceless. I'm a big Steve McQueen
Yeah.
fan. Huge,
So
huge.
so this is the iconic one that actually they took the photo. He was wearing it, and I don't know if Michaela, if you heard it or not, but this store has an original 1963 black Persols, the ones that fold Steve McQueen for
Hmm.
sale, and they're hard. I don't know how many more of them are out there. This is not a reissue. It's 1963, so the thing is 61 years old. It's going for $6,500.
Okay, I
So
was
cool.
okay. Very, very
Yeah,
cool.
So cool.
That's almost. I hate to say this. That's sort of a deal. I thought.
yeah.
Okay. That's sort of a deal. It's
Yeah, and
ridiculous.
on the temples, the new ones, they have the hinges where they bend. This thing
Yeah.
does not have a hinge, but the way they cut it, you can bend it all the way without having the hinge. So and it looks just amazing. It's brand new, brand new. It's in a glass case, and when they pulled it out for me to put it on, they had to put on the gloves and pull it out.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I didn't,
cool.
I didn't want to put a hood on before putting it on, so I just put it on, and then obviously they clean it up. But it's really, really interesting. So there you
Hey,
go, Zach. There's
I've got
original
to. I've got to
1963.
jump off. I've been summoned by my girlfriend to
Well,
come
that's
over.
not a bad problem to have, is
Yeah. Well,
it?
Get
exactly.
to work, Tim. Get to work.
Bye, Tim. Thank you so
Bye
much for
bye.
coming on.
Yep.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah.
What are you smoking, Oisín?
Toscana, man.
Are you
I,
are
I've
you out
gotten
of
to
the what was the other one? The
Nostrano. Nostrano.
Nostradamus. I have to find
I
it.
got some more of those. I smoked one of those yesterday, and I'll smoke one tomorrow for who needs a drink. I find
Yeah,
that the Toscanos kind of keep me going between decent
yeah,
big cigars.
sure.
I don't want to waste, really good cigars on, just
Yeah.
me like watching YouTube or editing or whatever.
Michaela,
I feel
What are
like I
you
need a cigar
smoking?
to like complete this picture right now.
pardon me.
But if you start smoking cigars, my God, that's crazy.
Look at the
It's
black lung.
what is it, Sean? Why is it so beautiful when a woman smokes?
It's just like I mean, look at the watch that she's wearing, just like a woman.
Right.
Michaela wearing that beautiful Cartier or Seiko or one of the Brigades. It's just
Omega today.
or Omega. It's just it's. I mean, that's amazing. It's just sexy. No,
Yeah.
it's I think it shows a level of sophistication. I think,
Yeah.
right? I think, in my opinion,
Hi, Sean, too. Hi, Sean. Happy 4th. We
happy
got
for it.
2 Seans. It's
Yeah.
118 Fahrenheit, I'm assuming, in Vegas. Well, I mean, I meant temperature, not Fahrenheit, obviously. Goodness, that's not very fun.
LA
Effing
is doing
Yeah, it's
nuts.
good.
Fahrenheit.
Jeez.
It's got to be
Yeah.
Well,
Fahrenheit.
yeah, I meant temperature. I just said
Yeah,
Fahrenheit. Yeah, no, it's a 118 Celsius. He's melting.
yeah.
Vegas is crazy. Oh my gosh, I could not imagine enjoying Vegas pretty much in general, but especially in the summer. That's crazy.
That's why you go inside. That's why the casinos do so well.
Oh my
You have to
gosh.
stay inside.
I'm getting
No,
hotboxed by cigarettes in the casino. I went one time and I was working. We stayed at the Wynn. They had a penthouse suite and it was
yeah.
wonderful. And in the evening, I was able to go and walk around a little, but I was just done for by the scent of a cigarette. Something about cigarettes, and that's something I noticed when I went to Vienna, is everyone smoking cigarettes on the street,
Mhm.
and I'm not used to it because it's not usual
Anywhere in
in
Europe.
Seattle. In Seattle, everyone's vaping, so I'm not used to the cigarettes. But oh my gosh, I was hit hard by that.
Yeah. We still
You love
don't know
secondhand
that.
smoke.
We still don't
You
know the
figured it out.
negative. We still don't know the harm that the vaping does. I mean, if you're putting that moisture into your lungs, there has to be
I
some.
know.
I mean, that's scary. I'd rather
So
not do
true.
that. And yeah, but um, uh, I was gonna say, you know, you were on that what do you call it, the podcast, the program, and I already know what I think. You did great. You were fantastic, and thank you for your kind comment on Tim's stream. Um, it. I just wanted to say, I did not say that I wouldn't allow my sister or wife or anybody. I said I would ask them, and I have to say, after listening to you on Tim's, as a matter of fact, I communicated that with someone with Oisín earlier. I said I actually would want to see you on that show again because I think you have a lot to offer, and the sensibility that you bring it from somebody that's young, hip, the younger crowd can relate to. And I think that's why it makes it so much more powerful and impactful. That I think it would be good for you to go out there. The more you say what you say, I think it's going to be good for the rest of the people that need to hear it. So I just wanted to
Thanks,
clear
Sean.
that. I didn't want to have any
I'm
misunderstanding
sorry
because
I'm so sorry I
no,
paraphrased
don't,
incorrectly.
because I would never. Oh, I know I come from from a background from a region that is known for, having
Yeah.
old-fashioned male dominate. I try to in my life. I try to live opposite to that, and
Hmm.
I
I
would
can understand
never
why that's
order
important to you to
somebody not
clarify.
to. I would ask, but I would never. And
Of course.
with you, you're smart, and your decision to go back 100% makes sense, and I'm glad that you have decided to do that.
Thank you.
It's just that my initial reaction was on a limited time that I watched, and I just thought that those guys were, you know, they were not. It was not the right environment. But
They're
you
not
absolutely are
nice.
right.
No, they're not nice. Mm-mm, they're not
But
nice.
I think
And it's
that's
simply,
probably the role they play. Also, everybody plays. They do their thing, but the discussion at some point got really interesting, by the way, because there was some
hmm.
good discussion in it. And but anyways, you did fantastic. I mean, you're awesome. Simply said.
Thank you. Don't thank you. Seriously, thank you. It's gonna be better next time around. It's gonna be coming up later this month. I now know better as I've actually experienced it firsthand. A little more what I'm walking into. However, I was very familiar before. I would never go on a podcast with almost 5 million subscribers not knowing what's up. Would never do that. 4th of July, baby. Sean, are you missing the show with your wife? We don't want you to
That's
miss
our
the show.
neighbor on their yard.
Oh.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
I didn't have a question, I don't think.
Oh,
No,
with
I
my
don't think I
wife. I
really
thought
had a
you said
question.
something about with my wife.
Oh, no, no, I was just asking if you're missing the show with your wife because she wanted to see the show.
No, that's later on.
We got to keep that lovely
That
lady happy.
they start at 9 o'clock and they wrap it up
Got
at
it.
9:15. Grand finale is about nine about I think just before 9 they start, and they typically wrap it
Mm.
up by 9:15. It's really beautiful. Yeah.
Well, it is probably a good time to start wrapping this up. My phone is about to blow up from being so hot from running. I didn't have much battery to begin with, but I appreciate you two coming on so much. It was fun, and I feel like I had some big shot celebrities on my show tonight, so
Don't worry.
there'll be a little something extra on your check, fellas. Just look out for that.
Thank you for allowing me to jump on. It was fun. The superstar on the top right. Good to see you again. Good smoking is, I haven't smoked a cigar since you and I lit one up in Florence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so as soon as I saw you smoking, I'm going like, I need to grab one.
Yeah, man. What are you smoking? What are you smoking? I didn't ask you.
Hoya de Monterey,
I
Epicor
hate
number
you.
2.
I hate you. Don't tell me that. It's my favorite. I love Oisín de Monterey.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's really smooth. It's light. It's light. It's not heavy, and it's good.
Very smooth.
I smoked
Yeah.
I tried my first cigar with Oisín in Vienna, and I didn't know how to do it, but it was fun.
What
Yeah,
kind of what cigar was it?
Good
I
question.
don't
I
Cigar
don't
know.
know.
cigar.
I can't
I think
remember.
Never smoked.
I think I tried a couple of, what is it called, puffs. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah,
Okay,
puffs.
I'm that much unfamiliar, and I have to say it's not my thing. But I appreciate it, and I think definitely it's definitely a hobby that I have respect for, and I think it's kind of a beautiful thing. It just makes life beautiful, and I like when people can enjoy themselves in that way. Reminds me of good wine, you know. But yeah, it was my first time, so that was kind of fun. And then I think like the ash extends. I don't know, and you're not supposed to let the ash fall. And I
Right.
did, but I didn't know what I was doing.
It's
I
fine.
don't understand.
We were
I
having a
don't
laugh. That
understand.
was
It
after
was
we
fun.
did the live thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah. We
went
were like
outside. We were
five,
having a
10
laugh.
drinks in.
Yeah, yeah. It was all good. I lit one
It
up
was
for
fun.
Eric, and he was like, "I don't want this thing." It was
No.
funny. It was a good night. And then that guy showed up, and he was like, "I want a light." Remember? It's a whole other
Hey,
story.
random strangers, do you have a lighter for a cigar I just so happen to be carrying? Oh,
Damn it. Crazy.
that was actually such a great memory because no one walked out in any kind of trouble or harm. I'm so glad that memory is in my brain installed because it's one of the funniest experiences I've had.
You figured it out
I
the
mean,
next day. Do you
we
remember we went for breakfast, and you're like, "I think," and I was like, "Oh shit." Because I had
yeah,
it in the back of my head, and you kind of went boom, and I went, it was like you
I'm
burst
not
a bubble. I was like, oh my God, you're so right.
connected. I'm not gonna lie. One of the people I look up to is Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock, and I love that show.
Oh,
So I like to go into my mind palace and just really just expand everything and look at everything and connect dots. But I felt a little like Sherlock in that moment, I'm not
you
gonna
connected all the dots by the end of breakfast, and you just
lie.
said it, and you were like, I think that dude. I was like, oh goddamn, you're probably right. And then of course the day went on, and I figured it out, and I was like, oh my God, she was totally right. You got it.
So crazy. That was great. That was a fun time. It was wonderful. Sean said, sorry, my internet sucks. Enjoy to get together. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Cheers. Well, that is the perfect note to end this on before my phone dies and leaves the stream running.
Hey,
But
I'll split, and you can say goodbye to your audience.
okay.
Good
Thanks,
night,
Oisín. It was
darling,
great. It
and
was great to chat.
happy fourth,
Happy
happy
Fourth
fourth.
from a New Yorker that has a lot of experience in the U.S., even though he doesn't live there. Well, thank you everyone for joining today. This is it. I hope you have a safe but fun evening. If you are feeling lonely tonight, you don't have plans, make yourself a nice drink and play some music, some aesthetic music, and just enjoy a moment or two, okay? Because life is short and holidays should be celebrated, and the only way to make your life beautiful is to do it. No one's going to do it for you. So I hope you do have a nice evening. Happy 4th, Jonathan Smith, and everyone else watching. Thumbs up to you too. And I will see you all later.